Hello everybody, Kimberly here, and today I'm going to show you how to use your die cut images to create a customized stencil. And I used it to create this sky and grass background on this oval. So let's take a look. What I have done is I have cut my favorite things, grassy edges, from a piece of cardstock. And when I run something like this through, I always use a piece of low-tack tape to hold it in place so that I get an even cut. And now I have two sides. And I'm going to end up using both sides of this die cut to create my background. So I already have my oval cut here, my oval stacks cut, and I already stamped my sentiment on it because I wanted to ink over the top of the sentiment. So let's start with doing the sky. What I'm going to do to color the sky is put the die cut piece of cardstock here that looks like the grass down first. That way I can get the blue ink all the way down to meet where the green grass meets, just like it does in real life. You can adjust this up and down to figure out about how much grass you want. And so, in fact, I'm even look on the back here to see how deep I want this. And I don't want it too terribly deep, so I'm going to put it to about here. If you would be more comfortable, you could definitely tape this down, tape your oval down and tape your stencil down with some low-tack tape. But I think just for now, I'm going to use my hand to hold it in place. I'm going to use some blue raspberry ink, and I'm going to use this ink applicator. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a messy scratch piece of paper. You can see I'm going to put the foam into the ink, and I kind of like to tap it off so that I don't get really large marks of ink. So I'm going to go in with a gentle circular motion and work my way around, and you can see I already slid, so I'm going to have to make sure that I hold it carefully in place. And I'm just trying to get a light color of ink up at the top here. This is going to be a putty thing where you're going to keep layering and layering and layering. And that's really why I like to start light, so I don't have to fix anything. When it's time to come and get the edges down to the grass, I'm going to go straight down with the edge, and I'm going to hold it at an angle like that so that I get down. This isn't because it's a little thicker with cardstock, you want to push a little bit more ink down in there so that you get enough coverage. I'm also pulling this way because I don't want to bend my delicate blades of grass. So by following the same direction, I'm going to keep those from bending too much. Okay, and there we go. I'm going to add a little bit more color up here. That looks pretty good. Now, to be able to do our grass, because this is a positive, I'm using a positive and a negative side, and these pieces fit together, I'll be able to line up the exact piece from the top to cover up to be able to do my grass. Isn't that a cool way to do this? I'm going to flip it over and line it up. And one of the things I want to do is I want to make sure that there's a little bit of blue ink showing through. Otherwise, I'm going to get a very harsh white line in between the two, and I'm not sure that's really the look that I want. So work, and you can see my head here as I'm leaning over to line it up. I'll go a little lower here. There we go. I'm going to hold it in place. And now I'm going to go in with my sour apple ink. I'm going to do the same thing with my ink applicator again and dab a little bit of it off and do a circular motion. I'm going to let my green be a little darker because I don't mind. Keep inking, and again I'm doing that angled thing to get up in here because it's of the thicker cardstock. I'm trying to keep a circular motion on the rest so I get an even ink coverage. Make sure I get all the way around the edges of the oval. A little bit more ink in there. And lift this up. And there we go. Now I can see that I have a little bit of white showing here. I didn't have it perfectly lined up. If I would spend a little more time and hold a little bit closer, I would definitely get that more lined up. So there you go. A way to make some backgrounds and with a stencil essentially that you've just created from die cuts. Have fun giving this technique a try.